Hey, what's up guys? Mr. Roark again. So today we're going to look at how to find the volume of a rectangular pyramid, okay? Now this is going to be a lot like the other formula we had before. The formula for this one's going to be V equals, we're going to have that area of the base again, that big obnoxious B, which we're going to use to put the formula inside, times height. The only exception on this one is going to be that you're going to have a 1/3 at the very beginning, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and solve the one that's going to be in your foldable, okay? So on that one, I'm going to go ahead and, to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly draw the shape that you guys have in there, okay, or try to make something similar to it, all right? And then what I'm going to do is we're going to solve for this problem here. So just bear with me as I draw this thing out. And then what we'll do is once I get that part done, you can go ahead and follow along with me, all right? Now, like I said before on the other one, guys, you have two questions you're always going to ask on these problems. The first question is always going to be, what's the height? The second question is always going to be, what's the shape of the bottom? Okay? And this one may look a little weird. All right, we can kind of see it. Good. So, what's the height? What's the shape of the bottom? Those are still going to be our primary questions we still ask. So what I'll even do is I'll put over here problem number 1. I'm going to put height, H-E-I-G-H-T. And then for question 2, I'm going to put shape of the bottom. Okay? Those are our two questions we're going to ask. Now, I think on the one that you guys have in front of you, your foldable, the one you just now should have scanned, this here, this dotted line has a height of, I believe it's 7 yards. Yeah, 7 yards. All right. This down here I think was 5 yards. And this over here is going to be 6 yards. Okay. Now, again, when I'm solving this problem, actually I'm going to put that 7 over here on this side. It's still 7 yards for that height, but I'm going to actually end up writing over in this section here in just a minute. All right. You're still going to ask yourself two questions. So the first question here is obviously what's the height? When you look at these three shapes and these three numbers, 5, 6, and 7, it's very plain to see that this here represents the height. So I'm going to go and put 7 down here. And then once I'm done using that, I can scribble that out. I don't need it. Now my second question is still going to be, what's the shape of the bottom? In this case, I know it's a rectangle, not a square, because these sides are not the same length. If they were the same length or they were congruent, it would be a square, but they're not. My formula for the area of a rectangle is base times height. Okay? The only numbers I have left are 5 times 6, which most of you guys can already look at that and say, that's 30. So I'm going to go and plug 30 in here. Okay? And like I've told some of the other classes, you have an option at this point. You can go ahead and solve 30 times 7 first, and then incorporate that 1/3, or you can do it all at the same time. You can do 1/3 times 30 times 7, okay? If you're a person who wants to do 30 times 7 first, if I multiply those two numbers together, I'm going to get an answer of 210, okay? And then if I multiply 210 times 1/3, or if you guys want to turn it to a decimal, 0.33, it doesn't matter. If I do 1/3 times 210, I'm going to get a number somewhere around the area of 69.3. If you did 0.33, it'll be, I think, exactly 69.3. But if you did 1/3, it might be a little higher or a little smaller, give or take. So our answer for this problem here is going to be 69.33, and that's going to be 69.3 yards cubed. Okay, and literally what that means is if I have a bunch of little cubes that are 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard, okay, I'm going to need 69.3 of them to completely fill this rectangular pyramid. Okay, as always, if you guys have any questions, you can always come find me in room 12. If not, I will see you guys in class.